Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for joining us today. We have Professor Atanu, Mrs. Madhumita, and their twin sons, Ahan and Srijan, with us. So, Professor Atanu is going to present briefly about their communication journey, and this will be followed by the Q&A session that we had already submitted some questions to them, and Ahan and Srijan have taken time to answer them, and then they will also be taking some live questions. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Am I visible? My slide?
Yes, sir. Slides are also visible. If you can please put, yeah, it is now good. Yes.
Okay. So, Madhumita will start.
I am Madhumita. I am a proud mom of two budding authors, Ahan and Srijan. We are very glad to be present here in this web meeting. This meeting is an initiative of Binduji and Paddaji. We are very much grateful to them for allowing us to speak in this occasion. Namaste.
Okay. So, I am Professor Atanu. Okay. I am Professor Atanu Sengupta, Bardhaman University. Again, I am a proud father of two budding authors. I have attended many seminars, but this is the first seminar that is solely based on my voice. As a father, this is a great moment for me. Again, I would like to thank Madam Binduji and Padmaji for giving us this excellent opportunity. As was advised to me by Binduji, I had prepared a slide and I will do the slide. After that, some questions have been sent to Srijan and Ahan, and they have answered it. After that, Srijan and question can be asked to them, and they will type and answer. So, okay, I am starting this. So, I am now starting the slideshow. So, this is Srijan Sengupta. He has written his own introduction. I am reading it for you. My non-verbal world creates a repercussion of 1,000 sounds in our own world. I feel being an autist. The non-verbal words are more sonorous than the outer world, where people express their thoughts verbally. In this process of literally writing, we entirely try to exchange the thoughts that we harbor, sometimes about subjective ideas. Share about feelings, imbroglies, and emotional upheavals, and sometimes concurrently about the world outside. Through my art, I always addressed myself at the same paradigm with other non-verbal writers, unified art as a language that carries everyone, never exclude anyone ever, never exclude anyone ever from its self. Now, this is Ahan Sengupta. So he has again written an introduction in front of Devojyoti, their English teacher. Myself, Ahan Sengupta, one of those non-verbal autists who express their words through the medium of writing. However, if you ask me, then I better call myself a dreamer. That dream where every object tells us its own story. Neither difficulty nor difference impedes the word. For a true reader or writer, the common bridge of communication is always present among them to connect. My writings always aim to build that bridge like an open window where my impressions in writing find its reception to million others. So with this introduction, now I start the slide. So I give my, this, their sorry, it is their daily glimpses of the first. I will give the glimpses of their daily life. There is a lyrics behind it, and their teacher Sumit Hande has helped prepared. He has himself prepared this video for us. The background lyrics is by Srijan Sengupta, and it is turned into music by Team Dreadly, and they have allowed us to use it in their video. এই শুনছো? আরে ভিডিওটা উঠে গেছে। তুমি দেখতে পাচ্ছ? Is this audible?
There's no audio, sir.
শুনতে পাচ্ছ?
আপনাদের কথা শোনা যাচ্ছে, গান শোনা যাচ্ছে না।
আমাকে এক সেকেন্ড স্যার, এক সেকেন্ড স্ক্রিন শেয়ারটাকে বন্ধ করতে হবে, স্টপ শেয়ার। আচ্ছা দাঁড়া, শেয়ার করবো তো? টেলিফোন এখানে শেয়ার অডিও।
Autistic, you have right trick. We are bunch of fools, you are and I'm cool. We see world upside down, one that earns your frown. You are ideal fit here, we are nowhere. But tell us you guide, where the new fly. In the usual route, no vision, no flute. We bring new word, new ways to move forward. In our struggle day and night, we touch new light. But tell us you guide, where the new fly. In the usual route, no vision, no flute. We bring new word, new ways to move forward. In our struggle day and night, we charge new light. We charge new light. We charge new light. deemed autistic. You have right trick. We are bunch of fools. You are endowed cools. We see world upside down. One that earns your frown. You are ideal fit. Here we are nowhere. But tell us you guy, where the new fly. In the usual route, no vision, no flute. We bring new word, new ways to move forward. In our struggle day and night, we charge new light. Hey! We charge new light. We charge new light. We are deemed autistic. You have right trick. We are bunch of fools. You are endowed cools. We see world upside down. One that earns your frown. You are ideal fit. Here we are nowhere. But tell us you guy, where the new fly. In the usual route, no vision, no flute. We bring new word, new ways to move forward. In our struggle day and night, we charge new light. Hey! Charge new light. But tell us you guy, where the new fly. In the usual route, no vision, no flute. We bring new word, new ways to move forward. In our struggle day and night, we charge new light. We charge new light. We charge new light.
So we will now again back to the PowerPoint and uh, so we are now back. So we are now back to the PowerPoint slides. So now adolescents and their changes, what they have. There is a turnabout of them in the adolescent. Previously, they went to the special schools, but it did not help. They also went to some main schools also. Uh, uh, then they've then they've so the thing got changed actually with the lockdown, because just before that their mother has also taken voluntary retirement from service, and due to the lockdown father could give more time. So because of this, the boys clicked. They began to type longer pieces. We could introduce new teachers post-lockdown period. Things began to change, and the very important thing that happened, for which we'll be always grateful to Paddaji, the offer from Talking Finger 2 came. Actually, it was Broto Didi, Aratrik's mother, who first informed us that Paddaji is going to publish a second volume of TF2, and he made it possible for us to contact with her, and he contacted us, and the TF2 gave them some very brilliant questions. I will talk about TF2 later on in details. They gave them some very brilliant questions, some very introspective questions, which we were surprised that whether they'll be able to answer that questions or not. But to our utter surprise, they answered all those questions, and some flashes which were completely unknown to us. From the depths of their mind, some ideas came, some of their own revelations, which were at that time in the nascent, came outside. So TF2 is a big exposure not only to them, but also to us, because it enabled us to understand them, what they are thinking, what they think of themselves, what they think of being called an autistic, what they think of this world, what they think about what other thinks about them, what they think of us, and all those various questions. And gradually, TF2 enabled us to understand them as a complete human being without any stamp such as autism or something like that. And this was a great achievement. It gave us confidence, it gave them confidence. And this is really a path breaker for all of us. And Paddaji is really taking the initiative not only after TF. She is now publishing newsletter, which will become a magazine. Via that newsletter, they could send their new new and other and creative writings with the writing which is published, and they are seeing them, and we are able to send it to others. So it also increases their confidence. They are very glad to see their name being printed. So this initiative of Paddaji continues, and again she has recently made a movie. So we can say that in a whole that she had created a genre in this. Because before the TF2, we are feeling that we are alone, because there were very people who could believe that a non-speaking autistic person can think, and that he can express his thought legibly. It was in USA and other parts of the world, it was already there. Rajoshi Tito in USA, then there were Ido Kedar in USA, but in India, these things were sorely lacking, and people could not believe that. So it is this which changed this. Now, we now go to their present structure. In this present structure, they are busy in all days in the week. Their time is structured into various activities. We have made them just like a class routine, a structured class routine type of thing. Some creative writing with various teachers, both in Bengali and English. Then there are publishable qualities. Many of them are publishable qualities. Many are published, and some are in the line of being getting published. And beside this, we also include cycling, swimming, learning to play tabla, some dancing classes, some indoor and outdoor games. They're all within the structured items, structured times, and the teachers come and they perform. And they are very happy of that. And also, they perform various household chores, household duties. For example, making the plates, dishes, cups before the dinner, lunch, then preparing the night time, that is the bed, preparing the bed, mosquito nets, tying them, and all these types of household chores they do. And this is also part of this, and all these has greatly helped. Now, this is their daily routine. So if you can see that from Monday to Sunday, there is full of routine with only some gaps. There is morning work, and then from 8:30 in Tuesday and Wednesday, they start. In other days, they start from 11 o'clock, the side gap, and lot of things they do. They do indoor games, geometry, Bengali creative writing from Sumit Hande from 4 to 6. Then there is a dance class, a dance teacher comes. Then there is working with parents. And similarly, you see that all those things, 4 to 6, mainly Sumit Hande does that creative writing, PPT, and all those things. And there is Devojyoti, who English writing. You see on Wednesday it comes creative English writing. And again on Friday it comes creative English writing. And also on Sunday they do drawing classes with him. So these are there. So you can see that it is a kind of entire structured things. And in Bengali drawing writing, Bengali writing, another with Rupak Basu, they do 2 days on Wednesday and on Sunday. So all these things, so they do. So there is a whole structure of things. So now we go to the next slide. So these are our teachers, Argo Datto, Devojyoti Bhattacharya, and Sumit Hande. Now they are all young in age, and they're almost in their age group of Ahan and Srijan, and they are not special educators. They have no such called special education training, but they are very apt as handling our boys, and our boys are also very happy working with them. A small incident, so Sumit came last evening, we were preparing the slides. Suddenly we told them that today don't do any activity because we'll prepare the slide. But they said no. They typed in front of Sumit that in Bengali that they wanted to type in front of him, and they began typing. Similarly with Devojyoti also, one day it happened that we were in a hurry, but we could not help. They made Devojyoti to work with them. So this is our teacher. Now this is the toddler teacher, Arun Kumar Das. He's a toddler teacher. And Rupak Narayan Basu is a special educator with whom also they write Bengali pieces and creative writing with him. So this is their engagement and present activity. Now we go to the history, that is the path we travel, the way we attain this, because everything has a history. Rome is not built in one day. Now first I give a simple biodata. They were born in Calcutta on 35, 2002, 13th May. They were slightly underweight, and the development milestones were also slightly delayed. That is standing, crawling, walking, eating, they were slightly delayed. And when their speech were not coming properly, my father-in-law insisted that you please construct a pediatrician as it was the custom, or tell no, it will come, they may be late speakers and so on and so forth. Now we consulted a local pediatrician and she was first to say that probably they have autism. So this was the first when we heard about the word autism, we knew nothing about it. It came as blank. What it is, what one does with that, what we can help to do it. So it was almost a shattering news, mostly to their mother, because and to me to a certain extent also, though I had some vague idea of it beforehand, some about the some of the autism of the scientists such as Einstein, etc. But I have very vague idea. But for his mother, it was very devastating when the pediatrician declared that they will probably never develop proper speech, at least conversational speech. They may have to live as a dependent one, etc., etc. So it was really a shattering news to her, and a lot of consolation was required. And but I believed, but because I read already, I began to search internet, and also we went to various institutes such as the Physical and Hearing Handicap Institute at Hyderabad and its office at Kolkata. We went to Mary Moria's Autism India. We also went to Vellore, to Bangalore, and the Nimhans and Mrs. Pratibha Karan. Then we went to various other places. Some of the important advices I will give. And from all these areas, and also by my and from Rainbow Hospital in Hyderabad. So from all these, we have more or less gained an idea that it is not it is not totally hopeless. Something can be done of them, something can be made of them. And also we accepted it because hopelessness is no solution. We have our sons, we cannot change them. So we have to do something. And we were searching a path. Now, we started, one of my uncle who is dead now, though they were not speaking, but from the advices of these various places, we started first identification of blocks, so wooden blocks, as you see in the picture, this type of matching blocks, both in English and Bengali. And that is, there were various types of holes in a wooden block where A is written, and an A block, we have to put it there, and so on and so forth. And they identified the alphabets. Then they began to combine simple words, cat, rat, fire, with those blocks. That means we cannot repeat double. If there is a double word, for example, moon, we cannot use it. The double O is not possible. Spoon, and like this type of thing. But all the other things where the alphabet comes and we want, this is three letter apps written. They have done 4-letter also, such as girl, GIRL, 4-letter, or home, 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 HOUSE, house, 5-letter, and 4, 5, and maybe rainbow. This is a long, but the RAINBOW, no repetition is there, 6 letters. So we move to larger and larger words to block where no letter is repeated. Because for repetition, we require a second set of blocks, which might be complicated to them, so we did not use them. Then we started to form simple sentences with these blocks. For example, I ate. This can be formed with a block. She ran. Now again, I am only saying 2 words, but it can be extended to 3 words, provided that there is no repetition of alphabets. Then it is possible to extend it to 4 words. For example, I drink water. You see, there is no repetition of alphabet. So that can be done by blocks. So this is blocks. And same thing also with their vernaculars also, which is their mother tongue. They also started that, because most of the institutes and the pediatricians, they advised us that you should go to their vernacular, because most of us, in fact all of us, first think in vernacular and then translate it to English. So we started vernacular also, blocks, vernacular language. Now, as you know, in the Indian language, there is a problem which we call matra. So, which is not there in English. So that become a real problematic, but we can give simple words which do not use matra. Simple words, very simple words, which do not use matra like that. So that simple language we could do. The simple alphabets in Bengali, they have learned, which do not use matra. Okay. The simple language. For example, in Bengali it is a and mo, which do not use matra because a is a complete alphabet. So this type of thing, and then we can also use it for making sentences also, sentences which do not use matra, simple sentences which do not use matra. So that things could be done. Now, then we go to the another side, there is the numeric side. Now, the first 0 to 9 blocks, the same way as alphabets, 0 to 9, there is some gaps and we put it there. Then, surprisingly, they very quickly learn to combine them, two numbers to form two digits. Again, no repetition, 11 or 22, not that, but other two digits, 12, 13, 89, 87, etc. They could do it. Then when they were able to combine these two letters, we went to some simple mathematical operations, additions, multiplications, and divisions. Very simple. I will give an 8 plus 1, 3 into 2, 9 minus 2, 6 divided by 2, etc. Now, this is all going in blocks. They are still in the pre-writing stage. And they've also picked some geometrical shapes, putting the geometrical shapes, and we also use matching the cards. For example, 6 bars and 6 is given. The matching between them, 6 trees and 6 is written, or 5 people and 5. So this type of matching also, and also matching with the words. For example, say suppose they have written and, match it with a picture of ant. Cow, match it with a picture of cow. So both in alphabet, numeric, we started the matching, and similarly in Bengali also, we started the matching so that they can identify. So that they can identify the words in which they are matched.
Hello. The video is.
Yeah, Bindu, looks like it stopped. I was also just checking, is it my connection or at their end?
I think they will join again, looks like. Yeah, I think they got disconnected. They're joining again.
Actually, there is no electricity here. Okay. So the problem has mounted.
Okay. Is disable kin sharing. So, hello. Please allow the screen sharing. It has been disabled.
Yes, yes, you can share the screen now. You're the co-host.
No, put it down. No. Okay. Okay. So they have geometric figures, alphabets, and this matching. And now we come to the writing, their fast writing. Their fast writing with the help, they started with the help of writing with father. How it started is very interesting. One day we went to a local, one day we went to a local zoo. One day we went to a local zoo, and Ahan wrote in Bengali that the place they went. And then we started with simple questions in words. So what is our national flower? Then they answered it, lotus, and also in Bengali. And then they started in what is the shape of art, like that of thing. So then he began to write about simple sentences. First, they write simple sentences, and how we started in that, we gave sentences which has concrete answer. What is our nearest star? First they wrote sun, and then we made them write sun is our nearest star. What is name one month for summer? So they said May. First they wrote May, and then they wrote May is a summer month. Like that. What is the name of your father? All guided, not only the simply their name. And when they started writing these type of known answers in known sentences, we then ventured to the unknown one. And before going to the unknown one, actually, we started some translations. Some translation from English to Bengali and Bengali to English. Now I give some example of their one. This is a poem which is given in Tagore's Sahaj Path. So it is said, my stomach, they have translated, my stomach is empty. Give puffed rice and carb. Only books may be safely put to the rack. Soilo forgot fried oat, bad luck. So this was their translations, and also this is a poem translation. We gave them simple translation also fast, and then we went to more. And some of these translated poems from Bengali to English have now been published also in recent Bengali. Fast writing started, we asked them simple question, and now their feelings after these things, we asked about their feelings. Why are you upset? Which food you want to eat now? Suppose they write ice cream. Which place you want to go? Why are you angry? Like these things. This way, they began to express themselves, and their angers subsided. So this was one way we could control them And hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Am I
I
audible?
think the screen sharing has a little bit. Now it is visible. The slides are visible.
Okay. Okay. So, so this is the fast way. So this not only started writing and etc., but it also opened a mode of communication between us and them. So we can easily communicate them. For example, we want to go somewhere. They may say that we want to go by a car or something like that. So this type of communication. Where do you want to go in the summer vacation? Say they write, Puri is a nearby sea place we are. They write PURI, it's Puri. So like these types of things. So there was a communication started. And this communication, they were able to go out of their um, autistic lingo, and they were able to express themselves. So it was a mode of communication. We explained to them many things, and they answered also. So two things started at the same way. First is writing, and secondly, expressing themselves to writing, and thirdly, mode of communication started between us and them, and therefore all those tantrums and anger we could easily control, because the fact is that they were able to express most of the time, so their anger could be diverted. One thing about them, one problem is that their handwriting at that time was not very legible. So in order to make that legible, we use the box within the exercise book, the box, and they were made to write within that. Now, this reduced not only their alphabet size, but surprisingly we saw that also this increased their independence, because now they have to write within the box. So they have to make sure that it comes within the box. So they have to reduce their size. And because of that intensity they have to give to the reducing the size, they became less aware of others, and so there was a way in which they became independent. So this is one of the way we can think that they became independent. Then they began to write more. They wrote 2 or 3, 4 paragraphs again on their own times. Then translations also we started. The translations, pieces, short rhymes, and some of them were of high quality. They were included in their Bengali book, Jonopriyo Ingreji Chora, and the book that is the Bengal Rhymes. So their communication and their writing increased. Now they can write 3 or 4 paragraphs, means they can communicate more about the thing, whether the dish prepared was okay or not, whether the trip we went was satisfying to them or not, whether the day that they spent was good or not. So all those things they can now express itself. So creative writing is an important thing, but with that also came their expression, their communication, and slowly they began to develop. Now there are early activities beside writing. So what we did from the very fast, taking help of these various institutes, the suggestions they gave, that is, we tried to give them as much exposure as possible. We took them regularly to markets, parks, fairs, restaurants. So there was no problem of restaurant habit. They can wait at the restaurant, know how to behave at the restaurant, know how to behave at the park. And also we ensured that they take public services. So crowded bus, crowded trains, even sometimes we have to stand, but they have to sit, and stations and checkings in airports, all those things. So these type of public vehicles, we made the exposure to them. So because of that exposure that we have given to them, it is possible for them to adjust and make rapid progress. Now we come to the various advices that we got. They are very important. So some of them I am given. First is from the CMC Bello. Now they gave us two very important advice. First advice is that we should express, we should give them ideas. We should give them ideas. We should give them some ideas from reading from book. Now we were at that time very surprised. We said that how they can express ideas, though they can write simple things. It was before that or something that I cannot give them exactly in a chronological manner. So forgive me for that, but because they are all almost simultaneous things. Maybe this happened before that, just after the blocks. Now they said, no, they can understand and give them some ideas. And also they stressed on vernacular language, that is the mother tongue. They could express themselves. Then we have the second advice we got is from Mrs. Special. Again, this thing happened at a very early stage. The picture is not appropriate for that, but we have little picture of those early days. There were no smartphone at that time. So she was first to admit that they have special skills in perception and relating concepts. She gave them various exercises and match between them. For example, match the top of a temple and a triangle. Match a sweetmeat, which we call in Bengal, rasagolla, with circle, football with circle, roads with parallel lines, and so on and so forth, and various other types of concepts she gave, and they answered them in a very efficient way, and they pleased her to a great extent. She was so pleased that she was first to call them wow child. She gave the name in her report, the report we still have with us, and that gave us a lot of confidence also, that means they have some capability, that they could relate the things between the various objects. They could relate them. Some of the example I can give. For example, my younger son, one day he wrote that he liked Mahabharata more than Ramayana. I said, why? He said, you see, Mahabharata is a story of younger boy. Then I said, yes, it is true. Arjuna was younger, Krishna was younger. The older one did not play a dominant role. Balarama and Yudhishthira, they did not play a dominant role. So this was a strange thing. We never thought that Ramayana is a tale of elder boy and Mahabharata is a tale of younger boy. So so this type of relation they can make it very easily. And this very surprised us. Now this is the way we give them ideas. And this is a very recent photo, because we did not have photos at that time. I recite them, I tell them from books, sometimes from my memory. Firstly, started small stories, then larger stories, then history, science, literature, and even mathematics. And they became auditory learners. They could handle our vocal renditions. And for that, we did not have to use the instruction-based picture cards for going or something, because this giving of idea, this one of the advantages of that, it made them auditory learners. Now, this is another advice. This is very important. We went to an NGO near Bakula, and there we first became aware of this book, Catherine More's Behavior Intervention for Young Children with Autism. Chapter 5 of that book, teaching program by B.A. Taylor and Ken McDougall, was very effective. Mrs. Goparoy, who was running that NGO based, she made us aware of this, and we read the book. We got a soft copy and a hard copy of it. There step by step is given how to develop first watching, eye gauge, then sitting at a point of time, how to make them sit, then fine motor skill, gross motor skill, slowly and slowly their development. All these things then there are imitations. So that book helped us a great deal. So anyone can go to great book, and in the lessons we are still continuing. We have the last pages of that, the storytelling, etc. So the lesson, this book is very, very helpful for special child like us, at least in the primary stage. But again, we see that they have developed this. This book we got only when they were 12 years of age. Now, some say that intervention early stage is helpful, maybe, might be. But also in that book, it is really written that age is not a matter. And we saw it that when we started this exercise, the book, they developed very rapidly. Now we come to computer, how we gave them computer type. Now, this we again followed a book by Soma Mukherjee, the RPM methodology. Now, first we use the paper strip, A and S. So it's two letters, A and S, is written on that. Now, what we did is that this is very important in RPM. We never told them to see what is A or what is S. No, they already know because they are writing in blog, they have learned. What they did is that relate it with what? See which alphabet Apple begins. This is one example I am giving. What is the first name of, say, I asked Ahan, the first alphabet of your own name, not even giving the name Ahan. So, what is the last word of our country's name, that is India, A? Similarly, with S, we can use what is the first alphabet of our nearest star. Here the alphabets, which alphabet we have to add to make a noun plural, and so on and so forth. So this is the way RPM, that is, we have first they have to point this A and S, not pointing A or pointing S. Point the first alphabet with which Apple begins, or the first alphabet with which our nearest star, or the last alphabet of our country's name. And so that is the way we started. So when they could achieve that, then we used to 3 alphabets. Then we moved to 6 alphabets. And finally, 4 alphabets. All this is being doing in paper cardboard. And then we have when they were half of the full keyboard, then we went to actual typing. The same thing we did in the computer. Type the first alphabet of Apple, type the first alphabet of Ahan, and so on and so forth. Then they began to type words. And again, as we do, I will not repeat it, as in the writing, also the steps are same. Simple questions, simple sentences, known answers first, then unknown sentences, then known topics, then then translation, original writings, your own message. And so the same time we have to go. First we have to go to the known, and then we have to go. This is what Catherine Morris' book tells us, that set your target as little as possible. Do not set a large target. Once we achieve that target, you go to the next target. Once we achieve that target, you go to the next target. So break up the entire thing into smaller and smaller and smaller targets. And this is another thing that graphology, which greatly helped us during adolescence. They were growing very aggressive. The graphology means just doing the pattern, comparing pattern. And this they did, and this reduced their, I say wrong typing, they reduced the adolescent problem, the becoming anger, adolescent behavioral problem to a great extent. We were using drugs, but drugs have their negative effects, so they have to be phased out. But when we use the graphology, slowly and slowly, the requirement of drugs become lesser and lesser until it becomes unnecessary. Now we go to the personality changes, how they develop. Now all these things, their personality again began to change as it expressed in their writing. They could write now larger stories. They could translate larger poems for Ahan. Same thing happened for Srijan. Now you see that he likes to look at his computer and see the YouTube by himself. And so all those things. Now we go to the outcome. This is the books which has been published. Talking Fingers, Pious Role. Then these are some of the other books doing Bengali and English. I give a short introduction. So again, this Talking Fingers too, I have already said. So and I will discuss. This point is edited. This book is edited by Padma. Ahan and Srijan are co-authors of the book. It included some very difficult questions, and as I said, so it is a great book. It is a path-breaking book for them and also for us to understand them. Now we come to the Pious Role, the collection of short stories in English by Ahan and Srijan. Then there is the Konika, the books of short poems translated by Ahan and Srijan. And this is the Bengali rhymes of Ahan and Srijan. This is again a Bengal. This is a rhymes of English rhymes translated in Bengali. These original Bengali poems. Now, book in press. Some of the book in press. This is a Abol Tabol, a famous book of nonsense rhymes. This is written by Sukumar Roy in Bengali, the father of the great filmmaker Satyajit Ray. They have translated them. They have translated them into Bengali. So now the book that will be published. First, I give a Ahan Sengupta. Few stories in Bengali and English by Ahan. Now, I give us. We gave. Ahan wrote a horror story of a tantric. He is taking revenge in Bengali. Smith 100. How the tantric spirit has entered into tantric and so on and so forth. He has again written a novella in Bengali by Ahan. This is a historical piece based on the time period is Pala dynasty of Bengal. It is that period, which we call the in history we call it the three dynasty period. He wrote another. And starting of the reign of Jahangir and Nur Jahan. He has just completed it. Internet unable to Hello. So, and in his English teacher, Debojyoti is commented. Ahan Sengupta, that is the comment which is written by Debojyoti. Ahan Sengupta plays a trail in his approach to writing the fairy tale stories and creating a special approach to it, sometimes by thematic presence or sometimes with several figure. Most noteworthy to note that subtlety of theme, abstract thoughts, conglomeration of apparent contradictory viewpoint, everything has made the fairy tales a complete dimension. This is written by Debojyoti. He has written a fairy tale of Flora and another just ministry and trust. Now, coming to Srijan Sengupta, he has also written a number of stories which will be published. He wrote a novella which is based on the 19th century Bengal Renaissance, and it's a very strange type of story, reinterpretation of the Renaissance from a point of view of a widow. So the and a jamindar like that. He wrote an English story about the dilemma of an Indian couple in America, and also about little girl in Bangalore, whose father and mother go to work and she is left alone. So all this he has written, and he have also written many other things. They have also written poems, translations. Lot of the translations they have made. They have written original poems also. Now again, his English teacher Debojyoti's comment is, this is his upcoming story, Ravi. He has made his readers see the dilemmas of a couple who are going abroad that fascinates their long-born interest in exploring a new continent. From the apartments of Rai, they finally headed to America, where a new challenge waited for them. It is not always the external situation that impedes our action. Rather, it is sometimes driven by our own internal thoughts and psychology. The distance is just a metaphor. the clash between physical and mental distance, the thin lining of thoughts, a watershed between capability and incapability of understanding that makes the story an altogether different one with its varied aspects. So this is by Srijan. So now I will go to the question and answers which given by Ahan and Srijan, which was posted to me by Binduji. The first is how different and how same are you from each other? So this is actually written by Ahan. We are twins, not identical. We differ widely both in physics and in psyche. Srijan is more toward, he always drives in the streams of life different directly. I look at it indirectly, he's extrovert, I am introvert. Second question is, how does it help to have an autistic sibling? Does it create a stronger bond between the two? We are in deep bond with each other. This is not always visible to outside. From our childhood days, we strongly felt a deep bond with each other. We were so attached that we had strong empathy with each other. I loved him, but also felt amused when he was scolded. This is said by Ahan. What kind of bond does autistic twins share to different similar support strengths? So again, he has written, we have deep emotional bonds. It has all elements of any deep relations, love, envy, empathy, and mystery. My brother Srijan is a role model for me. I try to emulate him. Now, Srijan has also wrote about that, about the answers he has written. That is, he also adores his brother, loves his brother very much, and he gives him more importance. Now, this question actually, though it is posted for Ahan and Srijan, it is actually answers to moms or to fathers, guardians, but who answered it. How or what shared activities do they enjoy? My twins are different in their support needs and strength and challenges. One is speaking and presence as normal, but is autistic with social and emotional support needs, and the other is not speaking with high sensitivity. I always feel that if I have to cater to them, separate and unable to figure out things to do. The answer is, we have only one thing in common. We are both authors. My brother says he's an accidental writer, but his grip in language is stupendous. I never say that. I love to write. We both express ourselves in words and we have, thus our days are spent joyful. How do you plan the days for the boys? A well-structured routine is made for us. There are 6 teachers in all. 3 teachers are our facilitators for writing. They just sit behind us and we write. Like Ido Kedar, they are just aiding me to prosper. There is a tabla teacher. There is a physical exercise teacher. The 6th teacher, Orgo, does a variety of tasks. We play outdoor and indoor games with him. We are taught geometric figures. Some writing and typing is also true. The remaining time is used by our parents. They engage in a numerous exercises. Plus, another question is, do we have sibling rivalry like others? Just like others, we have sibling rivalry evident from our fight for coveted items such as window seats in train, ice creams, and so on. Now, actually, there are some, there's a difference between them, some coveted seat. For example, one likes sweet, some chocolates, etc. more. Or Srijan likes chocolates or plastic more. And so he, when someone gives
ice cream
he wants to take it. And Ahan favors more some oily things like that, pakoras and all those things. So they fight for it. Now, how can I manage non-speaking twins? Again, this is not answers to them, but they have answers. So I have just placed their answer. Allow them to pursue their interests so that they can enjoy the life. See that they remain within the social boundaries. Make them understand that social moorings will enable them in this matter. Social responsibility is not a mandate, but a road towards full attainment. Without help from my husband or nanny, how do I handle situation where one child wants to play in the play area while the other wants to? And though they have written on now, as I've said, before that they are auditory learners, so we can explain to them very clearly. So Ahan has written, all children should obey their order. From very early, we were taught self-esteem and responsibility. Everyone has to sacrifice a bit of their interest for others. This will help them to achieve better. The child who wants to go to the park may be asked to play in play area today on the condition that tomorrow both will be taken to park. Treat them as adult people with rationality, express them the entire situation. Never consider them as kids who should be cajoled or scolded. Take their views, give them logic, pros and cons of their action. 9. How I can find a point of commonality between them. This issue also extends to their food preferences. How do I balance one child's desire to eat the same thing every day with the other child needs for variety? Now again, as Ahan has said, each child has his own or preference for food. This has to be honored, but again remain within limits. You cannot give child a burger at the middle of night. Explain the situation to him or her clearly. Don't say no bluntly. That may aggravate the situation. Last is how Ahan and Srijan develop the language and comprehension that is evident in their writing. They both read a lot of books. Now, this is this as Ahan has written, but as I will say that still we do not know that how they do it, or I am looking at AI and I am asking that how they do it. But as Ahan has said that my father read various books from Bangla on various topics, in various classic stories. This is continued. We learn a lot from them. Though has written this, but they write something sometimes surprising English and sometimes surprising things. So with this, I will end the presentation. Yes.
Sir, it has been a pleasure listening to you, and your journey has been fantastic, to put it in one word. And you have been such dedicated parents. Thank you so much for sharing your journey with us today. So we have a couple of questions also in the chat which came during the webinar.
Yes.
So we want to know a little more graphology. You mentioned it in one of the slides. So if you can give us a little more details on that, it would be great.
What, madam, please?
Graphology, you your both your sons practice that,
Oh,
and
graphology.
it helped them a lot.
Yes,
Yes.
graphology. Okay. So actually, graphology actually means that is, if you do a pattern, then they should repeat that pattern. They have some pattern and they have to repeat the pattern, and that pattern has to be repeated always with 8. But so I am showing you some. So I will show you some pictures. I think it will be. Now, is it visible? Now you see there is this type of card picture is given, and with that they are doing all those things. That is, they are all those things. So this is done by them with the aid of their mother. So this is one. This is another. So this has been changed. Yes.
Mau
Yes.
kono ara boy.
So we have given the samples also the slides. So these are the various types of patterns actually. See, writing F in a special type of way, not any type of F you see. Some of them are not okay. This increases their execution capacity. Okay. So actually you have to need to consult a well-known graphologist And if you continue the pattern, actually not only they were, we also mainly, their mother has also gained largely from graphology, doing the graphological exercise. She was one time becoming mentally stressed, so this graphology has helped him to relieve of that. So, actually, it is a structure type of thing of graphology. The figures are given, and then you have to copy the figures. Okay. So for this, you have to consult a graphologist. Here we have a local graphologist. And this is very personalized because he gave different exercise moves and a card. So he gave a different for Somenda is here. For Somenda son, Dibyendu sir has given a different type of pattern. So the pattern differs, and the graphologist, seeing the child's nature, they will decide what type of graph they will give. And you have to consult the local graphology. That will help a lot, because that helped us a lot. How did you?
So there's a question in the chat.
Yes,
How
yes.
did you teach Bengali?
Yes. How did you teach this like ka, ki, how we help teaching our native language? Actually, yes. How you teach? Actually, there is a. I will now show you. There is a. If you open the Google now. So I'm sharing the screen, and then I will show you the whole screen. Bangla type. So if you just write Bangla typing, okay, now you see various options are given. I'm opening, say, one of these. This is actually taught, it was all their teacher who taught this. Olga Datta who taught this. So now you see, for example, type car. So it turns into KA, okay? Similarly, so now there are options given here. So if you place it, so you see a lot of options are given. So after the kids type, so this is the way actually they learn Bengali. That is through this, they type it in English and they get translated. I make, say I'm saying Srijan. And only type. No. Okay. What is this? Camera off. So you see, Srijan has written AMI, so it became AMI. You know, Oh. Section. This is the way he wrote his name. Right? Ahan. This is the way they type. And they, So this is the way they write. Okay.
So Vanya has asked if you taught them the letters of both the languages simultaneously, English and Bengali.
Yes. Simultaneous. That schooling simultaneous. Yes. Now schooling, as I've said, that I have sent them to various special schools within our locality, which did not help much, but we went to that Bakura schools, we said the NGO. There they took lessons, and that Morris's method is applied, and there they gained a lot of things from there. Otherwise, we mostly concentrated on home teaching. Teachers come here from the very early age. There were many teachers. We have only gave the name of the recent teachers. There were previous teachers also. So mainly we concentrate on the home teaching, because in school actually they need one-to-one interaction. So sending in school is a problem because there is no one-to-one interaction there. So they learn. They are not able to learn in seconds. That is why we concentrated mostly on one-to-one. But some schools, for example, the school at NGO, the NGO school at Samoita Mount Bakula, we got a lot of help from them in the preliminary stage.
Another question which came after we sent you the questions was, how was it as parents? How do you describe your journey of parenting twins? Because bringing up one child, one autistic child itself is, a very difficult task. So you have two kids with probably different interests, different challenges, different skills. So how has it been so far?
That is actually properly. If I answer to this, then there are obviously it's very difficult to bring up two autistic twins, but there are some advantages also. There are some disadvantages. There are some advantages. Disadvantages, as we all know, controlling, etc. But there are advantages. Advantage is that, as Ahan has said, that Srijan becomes his role model. When we teach Srijan something, Ahan learns it immediately. For example, cycling. First Srijan learned, then Ahan learned. Then toilet habit. First Srijan learned it and then Ahan learned it. So that decreases a lot of, it is not really double task. It decreases the double task and make it a more 1.5 type of task. That if Srijan yields, then Ahan, we know, we are sure that Ahan will yield. Now it has another disadvantage also. When we see that Srijan is not yielding, it is very difficult for us to make us Ahan to yield. So our main stress is, first we try Srijan to yield, and when Srijan has yielded, Ahan follows. Now again, that is the way where that helped us a lot. And also from the very beginning, we made them sit at a particular place. That is the habit we made. And also their teacher at the very early age, Mr. Osho, he helped them a lot to sit at a particular place. We also, the first thing we did that to force them to sit at a particular place and listen something. So this we made an exercise, and this they learned very quickly. And also, as we said, that they're auditory learners. So their mother could explain them very easily that, you see, you do this, otherwise this will be the consequence. If you do not do this, there will be the consequence. And surprisingly, from their very early age, they well understood all the verbal renditions that we made to them. They understood our verbal language and everything. So these are all great help to us. This helped us a lot. This verbal understanding or verbal renditions and all those things. So, so there is a type of snowballing effect. So there is so some may say that it is a tough. Obviously, it was a tough. Bringing up 2 twins is a tough. But there is a symbiosis relation between them, and that helps us a lot. That if you teach somebody, it will easily go to other. If somebody behaves in this way, then other will also behave in this way. So that, as Ahan has read, that Srijan is the role model. So that is the. So it is not really double. Since there is a symbiotic or a synthetic effect, what we say, synergy effect. Sorry. So it helps a lot. It is not really twice. We can say that it may be less than twice, 1.5 or something like that. So that helps a lot. And also both of us and their mother has to take VRS, voluntary retirement, and also lockdown. I could give lot of time. We lived in the university campus, so I could give them a lot of time. So all these help.
So, what did you do for your own mental health when you're bringing up 2 kids? You said it is still 1.5 times the effort, but how did you and your wife find your own hobbies and find your own activities to keep yourself mentally fit?
It is said, and there is another question here. First, I'll answer your question and then I'll go to the third question. Now, for us, actually, for me, if you speak of myself, I am a very optimistic person. I do not lose hope or something like that. I do not at all do. I always, in all my life situation, I always try to find some light or something of that. For example, in my personal life, I am a lazy, I have one lazy eye. My left eye, I almost see nothing. And with one eye, I have to continue my academic career, and I did that. So for me, and 2 things that I did. First of all, as Maurice has taught us, set the goal small, and also I think set our aspirations for them as small as possible. When you achieve that, you go to next. When you achieve that, if you first set a big goal from the day 1 that you will achieve them as a writer of 5 books are there now. We could not have achieved iota of these. So we kept very small, first words, with simple sentence. We thought if they can communicate, it will be enough. They can write simple sentence, it will be enough. And then we moved on. Then we moved on to say larger things. Okay, so these in the life also we move. Some take small steps, then go to large steps and large steps. As my wife, yes, he required as a mother, obviously, she was very upset when both those sons were declared. But slowly she also gained strength, and graphology also helped him to gain a strength. And also from these various institutes, also we saw various examples of autistic and all those things. After a time, actually, as you all know, as Binduji and Pataji, all of us know that it becomes a habit of life. First, we are scattered, but sooner or later, autism becomes a part of our life itself, like drinking water or drinking tea. So then we do not think much of that. We try to improve our kids' ability as fast as it's possible. Now, there is another question, two questions. First question is that when the kids had any behavioral problem and how did you overcome the behavior? Now, obviously, they had behavioral problems before the routines. They had the adolescent problem they will have. They became very angry, very unhappy. Now, all those things happened. We went to doctors, psychiatrists, medicine. But as I said, the graphology helped us a lot to ease out these problems. And also, the moment they started this writing with the teachers, as I have seen that they were writing with, they've already seen that Ahan is writing with Hande, Sumit Hande. So, and they love to write. So that is the way they express themselves, and slowly their behavioral pattern. But still some behavioral pattern remains. Steaming, Srijan is now biting his nail. All those things remain if you keep on them. Now, this thing remains. It has not gone away. But the huge tantrum and etc. We have been able to reduce it. And we did two things. First, we make them understand that we had to be tough at that time. And we, for example, I give if I give few examples, it might be clear. One day I went to a shop. I have gave Srijan a chocolate. That is the chocolate bar or something. But then Srijan suddenly went. We went to another shop, grocery shop. Now all those chips and etc. hands there. Srijan suddenly picked up one by himself. Now it was a costly. Now I have to pay the price. But as I boarded a public vehicle, battery rickshaw, I forced him to give up that item to our cooler, and I said them that give it to your son or daughter. I taught him that if you do this next time, I will not give you anything. If you take it by yourself, that thing will not be yours. I will give it to others. So this example we have to say. Similarly, at Ahan also at some time we have to give these lessons. That is not problem. I will say no. Problem arises. When we went to Benares, a problem arose. We have to say that they are special. As we all know, in airport, problem arises because there you have to go singly when you have to security checks. Generally, mother goes fast, and then they go. So all this, but slowly they are made accustomed. But you see, first of all, one thing is sure, one thing is very important. We are not at all afraid of the problem. We know the problem and we have to face the problem and we admit the problem. There's nothing to be shy about. This is the first thing. Second thing is that you make them understand that You have to cope up with the society, and also the society also should be made understood that they are just like others, such as a blind person who have to search his or her seat by touching. So similarly, they have some of their behaviors, and you have to cope up with them from both sides. And this is the way I. Now, another thing, another question: do you communicate with non-familiar communication partners, such as a neighbor or a shopkeeper? Communication? No, they still we have not achieved this. That is, their communication with others, for example, shopkeepers or neighbors. No, we have still not attained that fully. But they communicate with their teachers and family members. Yes, mainly still they do that. We have not yet achieved, but we are trying to do that, but we have not achieved that. Still, they are not. We have not achieved that. The communication with the neighbors and the partners. As Sumendra is here, his son Tatai, he is Homo. He communicates with strangers also. But Srijan and Ahan is not yet so fluent to communicate with the strangers. So we have not yet achieved that. Yes.
Sir, there are some questions about sleep. I think you missed it. It is one parent has asked, did the boys sleep independently in one room from an early age, or did they sleep next to a parent until they got older? So what do you do when two kids have different sleep schedules? Like one gets up very early, one wakes up multiple times. So how do you manage their sleep schedules?
No, actually, yes. Yes, the question again, please, madam. It was not audible. The question.
The question. Yes. I'm just typing, sharing that
Yes.
again for you. Yes. In the chat box. Are you able to read it, sir?
Yes. No.
Yes. No. So it says, did the boys sleep independently in one room from an early age, or were they sleeping next to a parent until they got older?
No. Still we sleep in the same room. No. That has not been possible. It was possible for us to make them. No. The boys do not sleep independently. No. They sleep next to parents. They sleep next to parents. Independent sleeping, no. Still not. No. We have not attained that. We have not achieved that independent sleep.
So, and do they have the same sleep patterns? They both go to the bed at the same time and get up, and with no disturbances in between?
Okay. Oh, I will give the answer again. Now, the answer is very simple, that we have not achieved it. We have not achieved independence. Sleep with us. Okay. No, they have the same sleep pattern. They sleep with us and wake up. No, still not. No problem arises. We rise and get up, but you see the routine. No? They are walking, swimming, both of them do. So there's no problem as yet. Same sleep pattern, because they are sleeping with us, so the pattern is same. They do not, because since there is a routine, they have no space to sleep. Sometimes they want, they say in Bengali that we will sleep, but that is not allowed because the routine does not allow them. Only in the gap they can sleep. So it is almost, we synchronize with this.
Thank you, sir.
Was there any drastic pivot? Yes. Yes, I will answer that. As we said that during the time of puberty, actually, the adolescent, they had a problem, as all of them had, because since one thing we learn about from our boys, at least, I cannot generalize it from many others, that they are the autistic persons are not aloof from the world, as the standard classical theory gives us. They have all the emotional and the urge, other urges that we have and also they have. Now, that sometimes it has created weather problem, but that has not created problem. But when they are now writing stories, say with Sumi, Bengali story, they are expressing that love effect, the beauty of woman, the emotion of woman. So now they're expressing it with words. Srijan gives every other day he gives a sweet Ravindra Sangeet, a song of Tagore to meet that emotion. He's writing a story of failed relationship, failed love affair, and when they grew old. And also in the past, also a lot of such emotions are given. So it is expressed in words. That means they have it, but that does not create a problem. But some problems are created in the adolescent age. They grew sometimes very angry, very they say, violent, etc. But we were able to beat it by the simple logic that we explained to them, as I said, and sometimes we became hard at them. We said that if you do this, we will not come to this place. We set an example before them. So this is the way, and also Graphology. So all these are able to help us to do away with that problem. So it did not become very insurmountable problem, which we also thought. But now they are writing. Now the problem has almost grown. I can read some pieces from past role and then as so then it will be clear to you that how they express some of their expressions. For example, suppose the anger, it's a story by Ahan. So here there is a story of a man who is meeting his love after a long year. And now he is given that he says that I'm reading it from here. Hitesh is not only busy but also dutiful. He is always busy. He does all his work on the time. He never fails his time. Suddenly the doorbell rang. Hitesh was somewhat disgruntled. Who came now? Hesitantly he went up to open the door. He was surprised. A middle-aged lady was standing outside. She is Natun. Her smile still bore the fragrance of a fresh jasmine flower, just as sweet as it was in her university days. She was most ordinary looking, but her smile was infectious. Hitesh was a brilliant scholar. This smile killed him. So you see, they have all these expressions here. And also there is another story by Srijan. Same thing comes here also. The air. In the hour of great silence of midnight, the air was blowing steady. It is given. Ranita did not sleep. It seemed as if she was the only person awake in the whole universe. She had a miscarriage a few days ago. She was a bubbly, cheerful girl at the university, etc., etc. In a collection of boys, many were attractive. Donors have many doubts. But Ronita was so attractive that doubt began to fizzle out. She mixed with them very freely. They became cocoons of drones around her. They were many. So you see, they have these expressions and feelings, etc. But now they have expressed it, but that did not do any problem. Okay. Yes. Yes.
That's great that they found a way to express their emotions during those challenging years of their life. And kudos to you for tapping this interest in them and helping them express.
Okay. Actually, not myself, but my teachers also.
Professor Atanu, I think that's all the questions we had. Thank you so much for taking time
Okay.
for all of you. And this was a great presentation. You detailed your journey very nicely for all of us. And this is a role model for many of us. So thank you so much, sir, for joining us today.
Thank you. Namaste. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we wish the best of luck for both Ahan and Srijan. Sorry. Hope their books reach many people and they reach across the globe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for joining today.
Okay. Huh? Okay. Huh? Okay.